So it has been some challenging moments for me and my family, yes. And it is currently still challenging. The situation is not solved yet, as at the time I am making this video. You know, I put up a 15 seconds video on my channel earlier today, and somebody typed in the comment section that I just took my camera and count 1, 2, 3, 4, go, busted into tears. Who does that? It is difficult for somebody to shed tears and also carry camera. No, something must have triggered the tears before ever the person took a camera to film herself. You know, and the person must have cried more than what you saw on camera. That 15 seconds wasn't the real deal. I cried and cried. My son rushed to me, as always. These days, I don't know, they say you don't cry before your children, but these days, sometimes you cannot control these things. He brought me tissue to wipe my tears, of which he has always done that in this new place. He has always been the one. Whenever I cry, I don't hide it. I don't hide it. Even when you try to hide it, he's there. He's just there. You see him bringing the tissues as well. You know. So I was trying to become much stronger. The school, his former school, the head teacher rang me this morning. They've been calling. So after I got off the phone with the school head teacher, the TS came again. The thought of how they have been concerned. This would be the second time they've called. You know, it's been very tough and challenging moments for me. I'm out of job. I did not lose my job. But the circumstances is that we moved in here on the 24th of July. Before then, we already applied to 2 different schools here. Immediately we got this house, we applied to schools, and we rushed down here in the hope of getting a place for some to, you know. So the video I made in the morning, if I had seen somebody put up a similar video as to the one I put up in the morning, that 15 seconds video on my shorts, or this very video I am making right now, if I had seen somebody made a similar video about this current location where we moved to in England, honestly speaking, we would have cancelled our relocation to this part of England and stayed back in the northeast, because it's far more better in the northeast compared to this place. Even though they said, a couple of Nigerians I've spoken to, they've said that there are more job opportunities compared to here, compared to other places. You know, I've spoken to about 3 or 4 persons. They said the same thing. Myself, I've not started working for the fact that my son is still at home. Yes. 3rd week of school resumed. What's today's date? 19th September. School resumed in some places on the 2nd, 4th. This is 3rd week just ended today, Friday the 19th. So next week is gonna be 4th week. 1 month. My son is not in school yet. And a lot of you knew how we struggled. He had challenges, you know, with communication and all of that. So keeping him at home, it's a big barrier on me. But thank God, he is becoming more outspoken now, to the glory of God. You know, so we didn't see this coming. And guess what? In his other school, the space is still there. The space is still there. Look at those. I started vlogs. I don't finish it. I don't get to finish it because I was stressed mentally, physically, and otherwise. Do not do anything that would make you to go behind in this life. This is my general advice. Anything that will make you go to prison, don't do it. We did not commit any offense. We are not in prison, but it feels like it. Yes, these days my son comes to sleep in my room. We sleep in the same bed. We would wake up around 9:30, 10 o'clock, not wanting to get out of bed. Yes. Guess what? We had no plans of going anywhere. Do you know what that means? I feel like doing it again. I'm okay now. Thank you. You know, so this boy is very sensitive. He was in the living room. You already brought me a tissue. He's very sensitive. Guys, this has been happening. You know, I've come over it, but then something would always trigger this. I don't know. So if you are planning to move to a place like this, don't come. Consider a different place. You know why I say consider a different place? Because I thought it was a joke or something. Yes, when they didn't give him a place on the first day school resumed, I was really worried. So I drove down to 3 different schools, because we applied to 2 different Catholic schools. That's the option. You have to apply to 2 Catholic schools or any schools at all, but 2 schools. So I drove down to different ones. One of them, 20 minutes away from my address here. At the reception, they told me they don't have any space. I busted into tears again that day. They were the ones that brought me tissues and all of that. I thought it was a joke. I drove down to a different school, Holy Family again. They told me no space. I came home. I was hot. I was sweating. The next day, that Monday went by. Then the next day being Tuesday, I was restless. Then, like I stated, the 3 agencies I work for, one of them is here. So immediately I moved here, I just changed my address in their app and they started contacting me. I was supposed to resume work on the 4th in a secondary school, because I told them I cannot do just secondary school alone. You know, for the fact that I'm alone here with my son. You know, normally primary schools, they dismiss first. Some primary schools dismiss 3:15, some 3:30. But most secondary schools, some of them dismiss 2:30, some 2:45, some 3 o'clock at most. So even if I work in a school that closes 3 o'clock, I should be able to drive down within 15 minutes to come pick up my boy, you know, at 3:15. That was the reason I said secondary school. And they found me a place I was supposed to have started. But for the fact that he hasn't gotten a place in a school, I wrote them. They say yes, they can understand that, you know. So there's no way I could walk when he is home. And he's not a toddler. You know that? And he's going into exam class. Year 6 precisely. He will be doing SAT. You know, so on Tuesday afternoon, there's a school around the corner here. I decided to walk down to the school after school. I checked online, the school dismisses 3 o'clock. So I walked down around 2:50, some to have myself. I met with some African parents and I asked them about, you know, how they managed to get places for their children in that school. They began to share their stories with me. It was really shocking. It was about 4 African parents, 2 Yoruba parents, and 2 other ladies. They are not Nigerians. You know, they said similar things. This one said it took them 4 months for the council to find a school for their child. This one said it took them 2 months. This one said it took me 1 month. My child, they are 2. This other one got a place after 3 months. This one said this. Hey, my head. I cried again. These days, oh God, I can easily fall. I was crying. One of them had me. But that was consoling. You know, it was really consoling for the fact that I had gone out to ask. Because if I didn't go out to ask, it could have been worse. It could have. I kept ringing the council. They kept promising. I don't know how it is in this part of the world, or part of England, because in August, we visited this particular school, the first school here. They told us to come back in September when school resumes. I drove something down to St. Patrick's. I even paid toll gate fee. The toll fee, I don't know. Got to St. Patrick's. They asked me to go. that I should come back in September. September, they started their stories. They don't have spaces and all of that. Why are you delaying people? Then I rang the council. The council, when you ring them, you stay on the line for like 20 minutes, 30 minutes before they will answer. Sometimes they will cut. They will tell you that, you know, that school has just resumed and they have a lot of applications. They are working on it. Oh my goodness. That means the council also go on holiday. I mean, the Department of Education and the council, they also go on holiday. In the northeast of England, where we had moved from, it wasn't like that. Yes, I remember the first day we went to my son's school in August 2021. August, school is on holiday, but the admin is usually there to give you application form to fill, and they will direct you to the council to do the same. And right there and then, they will tell you if there are space or spaces in their school or not. You know, so we thought it was going to be the same. And not only that, we applied in July. Lo and behold, third week is gone. Nothing. Third week gone. Ended today. Nothing. So it's been hard. It's been so hard. Traumatizing. You know, and this is a new place we've just moved. Nothing. I've checked Boys Brigade in the church here. They don't do it. You know, they don't. So it's really hard. But then we keep on going. Yesterday I went to the pharmacy to buy some medication because we traveled over the weekend to our previous place. Yes, the Igbo na Tees Valley, the Igbo community, they had their New Year festival, and I am one of their ESCO members, media officer, you know. So I didn't want to go, assuming that Somto had started school, because I already said no. But considering the fact I would be lonely here, not going anywhere, my husband decided to say, okay, we should go. Yeah, paid our train ticket, £173 going and coming back. And we used our family and friends rate card. In case you are a family, you might, if you don't drive, yeah, you might obtain that family and friends rate card, so that when you book for a rate card to travel, you know, you will get it at discounted rate. You know, so we traveled to Middlesbrough area for the event last week. That was on the 13th. We traveled on the 13th, came back on Monday. I think, I don't know what date was on Monday. We're supposed to come back on Sunday, but I said no. Since our ticket was open return, we decided to spend another day at least. We stayed in Middlesbrough, but we went down to my former area, the street go. We decided to go to church there, meet with some families. You know, we passed Somto school. It was Somto was really sort of. I just had to talk him over it. I told him he's gonna find a better school and all of that. We got to our former house right at the front. He wanted to cross. I said no. You are no longer there. He said, this feels like home. I said, yes, I know. So how about Southampton? He said, no, that Stockton is a home. We lived in Stockton on Tees, you know. But then we went to church. Luckily, it was their Bring and Share Sunday. So after church, we stayed for lunch. And then we visited a couple of families there that had one of his classmates. We spent 2 hours at this. I mean, it was absolutely, you know, refreshing and therapeutic for both of us. Yes, we felt at home going back to that place. And then on Monday, we decided to come back. We traveled for 9 long hours coming back. This place seems to be the end of England. We're in the UK, not even England. The end of UK, because from here, you can just get on the ship to Caribbean, France, all the places, Portsmouth, Bournemouth, and all of them, you know. Even sometimes we hear the ship landing, they will just blow horn. Boom! You know that the ship is landing. Oh, beautiful ship, you know. So this has been it for us. Not easy. So I think I missed something. So when I went yesterday to buy medication for Somto at the pharmacy, yes, Somto contracted nasal congestion. Yes, because one of the places we stayed, or the place we spent 2 nights, one of the children has catarrh and cough. You know, children. So he contracted that from because they played all night. I was so happy. I was so thankful. They played. Something forgot about his iPad. They played and played. The next day we went down to Stockton. He played with every family. They would be playing. I said, thank God. I was so happy seeing him playing rather than staying alone. You know. So yesterday when I went to get him there, I saw an African mother with 2 children. You know me, I'm a very sociable person. So immediately I sighted her, and it was during the school time. I just approached her. I said, sorry. Okay, we greeted, we laughed. I said, yeah, your children, are they not in school? She told me that they've also just moved from a place called Common. You know, they've moved from Common area. He said it's 4 hours away from here. I said, yes, we've moved from a place that is 6 hours away from here, you know. He said, yes, it's been 2 long weeks. And they are living right at the front of a school, primary school, that she targeted that primary school with hope that they will put her child in that school. I said, what year group she mentioned? I said, the same year as my son. Unfortunately, that school told me they don't have space in that year group, because I emailed over 10 schools about 2 days ago. Over 10 schools. About 3 of them came back. One also replied me today, asking me to go and apply through the council. They don't tell you that they have space. Anyone that has space, like somebody told me, they would ask the person to like go apply through the council. But about 7 of them that didn't have space, they were straight to say no spaces in their school. Straight. So me, I began to wonder if there are all of these spaces, and the council that I've spoken to several has also promised me that the 2 schools we apply to, no space, unless my child will be on a waiting list to God knows when. Why not put him in all of these ones? I even suggested to the council. That was 2 days ago. 2 days ago, yesterday don't pass, today don't pass, nothing. The woman told me the same thing. Now look at this one, that one, 2 children. So that calmed my mind a bit, you know. So this morning again, actually that was, they gave Somto 2 weeks. I mean, Somto's previous school. They know that Somto likes going on this time-stable rockstar. If your child is in school, you will know time-stable rockstar. In the whole of Somto's school, he is just at the top, you know, year 1 to year 6. He's currently, as at the moment, before they logged him off, 8 million plus. His score. He's always the time-stable rockstar. What is it called? I don't know the title they gave him. They're always giving him an award every week. They are always giving him an award, you know. So he's been playing that since we came. The second person in his school is at the level 600 and something, and he's 8 million. You can imagine. So after about 2 weeks, school resumed. They knocked him off. They gave him more than 2 weeks because it was when we came back from our journey. I think on Tuesday, that was when they locked him off. Somto came to me. It was hard for us. The only thing he enjoys doing. We cried together again. I had to assure him that once he starts school, then he will have access to that school's time-stable rockstar and starts playing again. Meanwhile, I don't blame his previous school. Yes, I don't blame his previous school, because he needs to, log off so that other kids can as well compete with the second person in position that will now become the first person in position, since Somto is out of the way, you know. So they did well to have allowed him to stay till that 2 weeks plus, you know. And today was the second time they are ringing me, the head teacher. They are so worried too. So what the head teacher did for me at the end of our conversation today, she asked that I should give her the Southampton council's number, that she would like to speak to them directly. I emailed her because I went to Dujo. They have logged me off as well. I cannot write her privately like I've always done in the past. You know, it was hard. So that was what prompted my tearing down again. I've cried, wiped my tears before I made that 15 seconds video that I put up on my short video. Apologies if anyone felt offended. I didn't mean to do that. In fact, I posted on my Instagram. I went back to delete it. I went back because it will keep coming back with sorry. And no, that's not what I want. So a lot is going on in my life currently. My car is also struggling. My car uses diesel, and you know, if your car is using diesel, you know what that means. You need to be driving that car at least once or twice in a week on a motorway for like 30 minutes or thereabouts to warm it up. So tomorrow, I'm gonna just put on my sat nav. The school where I drove down to for about 20 minutes, I will drive back to that side again. Yes, because I applied motorway, about 2 motorways to go to that area. So tomorrow, anytime we wake up, have our breakfast, I will just take some to drive just to go warm up the car, because the car is also suffering. It's usually go around here, go around. Like tomorrow I'll go to church, it's about 5 minutes drive. African shop today, I decided to walk. So yes, this is what we do. Yesterday I took something out for a walk. Today we had a walk. Instead of driving, we traced the African shop, even though we missed our way. It's less than a mile, so we decided to walk it and come back instead of taking the car. It doesn't, even if I drive that car for 10 minutes within at 30 NP, it doesn't make any difference. It won't help the car, you know. So tomorrow I'll go and see where to warm it up, where I can drive through the motorway. So this is it. I just decided to make this update to free my mind and also come back to creating content. All the videos you've been seeing on my listing, some of them have been done in the past. Some I'm just managing to put up all them short videos. Yes. Before the holiday, before the school resumed, we went on holiday in post-March. You've been seeing some of those videos already that I've been posting, but I was just tired of doing anything and everything. To be honest, I was just tired. I became so broken, so useless, seeing my little boy staying at home. But what we did again, yes, we registered him. I made inquiries, some online lessons, physical lessons. So as at yesterday, we enrolled him into one of these online lessons. Yes, AD Space, to do both maths, science, and English for 1 year, 1,000 plus pounds, though you pay by installments. Meanwhile, my son still has his English tutor in Nigeria. In case you are interested in having your child, the English teacher, Mr. Akiola, teaches my child English. He has been teaching my child in the last 2 years plus now. Yes, he had him this afternoon as well. In case you are interested, you can reach out to me. I can give you his contacts. He teaches him 3 times in a week, 1 hour per each lesson, you know, and it's very much affordable compared to the prices you get here. Yes, and the timing you get here as well, you know. But this one, the current one, is actually here and very expensive, 1,000 plus pounds. But what can we do if, you know, it's hard? Yes, somebody also asked me in the comment section, how is schools in Nigeria? I hope it was a British person. In the comment section of that video where I teared down the 15-second video, you know, in Nigeria in particular, you can decide to put your child in any school of your choice. Hence, you have your money. Yes, we pay for school in my country. Parents decide. They make a choice of a better school for their children, and they pay for it. So definitely a child in Nigeria doesn't have to stay away from school. On the first day of school, talk more of staying 1 week, 2 weeks. Hence, the parents has the money. What are we working for? You know, so that is it. Thank you very much for your kind words and prayers. At some point I was like, does God still answer prayers? You know, and I still answered myself. Yes, that something doesn't happen immediately doesn't mean that God does not exist or God does not answer prayers. I know that we've been praying before we move here. Yes, I've prayed every day as well regarding this school stuff. So you can imagine how overwhelming it is for me, but I don't doubt God. Everything is happening for good. Yes, I still keep my hope and my faith in Him in everything. Thank you very much for your kind words. I really appreciate that. Sorry that this video became long. My apologies, please. See you again in my next upload. Bye for now.